The featured company is a paid client of Proactive Group Holdings, and this recording is disseminated by Proactive on its behalf.
We rescaled the project, now 15,000 tons a day with a new development strategy. The results for the study, we used a $2,500 gold price, and the NPV 5 was $1.1 billion after tax at that gold price, and with an IRR of almost 28%. And
all right, welcome back inside our Proactive newsroom. And joining me now is Fred Earnest. He is the CEO of Vista Gold. And Fred, it's good to see you. How are you?
Very well, thank you. It's good to see you.
Yeah, good to have you along. Excited to learn a bit more about what's been going on with the company. I know it's been a very busy time right now. But for those not familiar, tell us a little about Vista Gold.
Yeah, so Vista Gold is a BC registered company with headquarters in Denver. Our main asset is the Mt Todd Gold Project in Australia, which is Australia's second largest undeveloped gold project. And it's the largest gold project in Australia, not in the hands of a producer. And we've been advancing that project, and very excited with the feasibility study results that we published in July of this year.
Yeah, let's talk about that feasibility study. I know there was a lot of work that went into it. What sort of numbers were you getting off of the feasibility? From what I read, it looked pretty good.
Yeah, this feasibility study represents a completely new vision for how we can advance and develop Mt Todd. Previously, we'd evaluated Mt Todd as a very large project, 50,000 tons a day, and we were dependent on forming a joint venture to advance the project. We've brought in a new team of engineers. We've thought more like Western Australia mine developers and mine operators, and we've rescaled the project. Now 15,000 tons a day with a new development strategy. The results for the study, we used a $2,500 gold price, and the NPV 5 was $1.1 billion after tax at that gold price, and with an IRR of almost 28%. And so, if we look at still a very conservative gold price of $3,300, those numbers changed to NPV 5 after tax of $2.2 billion and an IRR on an after-tax base of almost 45%. So, there's a lot been done on the project, and we're very excited about the numbers. I think it paints a very clear path, a clear picture for us to move the project into production.
Yeah. So tell me about sort of the plan here. I know is there still work going on there? I think I read that there was still some work going on there as well.
So there were some recommendations that came out of the feasibility study for some additional engineering work that would be needed in order to commence detailed engineering. One of those studies has commenced, but most of our work at Mt Todd right now, we're just heading into the wet season. And so we have some site management obligations, and we continue to liaise with the Aboriginal people who are the landowners. And so there's a lot of that kind of site maintenance work going on. But right now, the important work is that drilling to get some samples for metallurgical testing has commenced, and we expect to wrap that up the latter part of January.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about sort of the next steps here. You obviously talked about some of the work you're doing right now, but obviously you'd like to eventually get to decision. And so tell me what 2026 holds for the company.
Yeah, 2026, I think, is going to be a very exciting year for us. We've started the process of interviewing and identifying individuals to add to our team in Australia. One of the key early activities is going to be building corporate capability in Australia so that we can advance the project. We're not going to try and run the design and construction out of Denver. It just makes no sense at all. And so we're in the process of interviewing and making decisions about core team in Australia. That'll be one of the first things. Obviously, I just mentioned the metallurgical testing. We have all of the permits for a 50,000 ton per day operation. An EIS, a mining management plan, which is like a mine operating permit, a federal environmental authorization, and then an authorization under the Aboriginal Areas Protection Authority Act. And all of those need to be tweaked just in modest ways to align with the new feasibility study. That work has commenced. And I think that we'll start to see some of the first news flow from those modifications sometime the end of the first quarter, or perhaps into the second quarter of next year. Ultimately, our goal is to position Mt Todd so that in the latter part of the year, we can commence detailed engineering and design and start the clock ticking on the 27-month period to commencement of gold production.
Wow, it's going to be a busy one for sure, 2026. Fred, thanks so much for giving us a quick update on what's going on. And again, we'll look forward to following your story next year. It sounds like it's going to really take some big steps forward. So really appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, there's Fred Earnest, the CEO of Vista Gold.
The featured company is a paid client of Proactive Group Holdings, and this recording is disseminated by Proactive on its behalf. It is for informational purposes only and does not constitute investment advice, an offer, or a solicitation to buy or sell any securities. Viewers should conduct their own research and consult a qualified financial advisor before making investment decisions. The views expressed are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect those of Proactive Group Holdings, trading as Proactive Investors or its affiliates. No responsibility is accepted for any loss arising from reliance on the information presented.